Good morning, boys and girls. It's week 2 of Learning from Home. It's Monday, the 18th of January 2021. Let's get started. And we begin with our spellings. You'll see, make sure that you're on your week 2 sheet now, and the date there is at the top as well to keep you right. And this week we are practicing the G sound, and it's made either with a single G or a double G. But they both make the same sound, G and G. The double G is another example of a digraph, which we talked about last week, which is when two letters join together to make one sound. So let's go through our G words for this week, and you can repeat them after me. Go, ago, goes, going, gone, glad, give, green, big, bigger, biggest, and wiggle. So, of course, as always, on a Monday, we write those words out into our Monday column. And our Monday literacy is to get started on our sounds in focus and maybe get the first 2 or 3 sections of it completed. Now, I've crossed out part 1 because, as I said last week, I didn't want to give you too much in a week and overwhelm you. But some people have said that they would like to do some of these activities even if they're crossed out. So it's up to you. If you want to do it, that's fine. Part 1 asks you to underline the letter or letters in each word that make the G sound. So it's just a case of going through each word and underlining either the single G or the double G, whichever makes the G sound. Part 2 then, question 2 has 2 parts to it. So the first part asks you to colour the picture if you hear the G sound in the picture name. So that means you have to look at each of these pictures, and if you can hear the G sound in them, you colour them in. And if you can't hear the G sound, you don't. So I'm going to name these pictures for you in case you're not sure what they are. So that's a gate, frog, egg, grass, glove, clock, and glue. Now, quite a few of those have a G sound, but there's definitely one at least that doesn't have a G sound, so there's one that you won't colour in. And then you'll notice that I've done a few dots here, so I'm going to explain now what these dots are for. They're for the second part of your question. It says draw a dot on the line for each sound in the picture name. Now, what does that mean? Well, every word has a certain number of sounds. So, for example, the word egg there, it has 3 letters, 1, 2, 3, but it only has 2 sounds, egg. So, sounds are different from the number of letters in a word, and we are counting the sounds. So, I have made a start here for you with the first word, gate. And we're going to sound it out. G, E, T. 3 sounds. So although the word gate itself has 4 letters, it only has 3 sounds. Now I'm going to sound out each word here, and I want you to try and count the sounds as I sound it out. And each time you hear a sound, put a little dot in. Okay? And you can rewind back this video afterwards or play it again if you need a bit more time to count the sounds. So, frog, f, r, o, g. Egg, e, g. Grass, g, r, a, s. Glove, g, l, o, v. Clock, k, l, o, k. Glue, g, l, u. So 1 dot for each sound that you hear. Moving on then to question 3. You have to fill in the blank spaces here with either a GL or a GR to make a word. So sometimes you have to use both of them, because you see here we have ASS and ASS, so you can put GL in front of it here to make glass and GR in front of it here to make grass. So each space needs either a GL or a GR. Now, one of the words that I've done for you, I've put a GR here to make the word gruff, just in case you didn't know that word. And the word gruff kind of means grumpy or loud or rough. It's often used to describe maybe a voice. Someone has a gruff voice. So once you've filled in all your GLs and GRs, there are sentences here with spaces, and you have to fill in one of the words into the spaces. Now there are 10 spaces, but there are, I think, maybe 13 words. So not all of these words will fit into a space, but most of them will. Now the first one says, my granddad has a very something voice. So you choose a word that would fit in here to describe his voice. Now that's actually the one I've already written here for you, gruff. G-R-U-F. So you could write gruff in here and then tick it when you've used it so you know that you've already used that word. Then read through each of these sentences and fill in the blank space with one of the words. So let's read through the sentences, boys and girls, and every time I come across a blank space, I'll just say the word something, all right? So the next one says, I use something to stick something on my cards. The geese were lying on the something. There's 2 spaces there. I'd love to something in the sky like a bird. Greg had to something his something before it fell over. I am something, I find my something. I think this word here might be glad, for example. I am glad I found my, and then find another word that would fit in there. Now, starting from tomorrow, from Tuesday onwards, we'll be looking at money. But today I want to look at a little bit of revision of addition with carrying. So if you could find a little, some white paper or any kind of little book or page that you have around to write out these questions that I will send you on Class Dojo. Now, you'll see I've written the first question here. Now, it's written out horizontally, but I want you to write it out vertically, like this, okay? So it should look just like this. So you have the units all in one space. That U needs to be cleaned up a wee bit. U for units. Then we've got our tens all in one column and our hundreds all in one column. Then we've got our plus sign and our line. So let's get started then. 1 plus 9 makes 10. Now remember, if it's 10, it has to go over to the column, the tens column. It no longer belongs with the units. So we put our 0 down here and we carry over our 10. Then we add all our tens together. 3 tens plus 4 tens plus 1 10. That makes 8 tens altogether. Then over to our hundreds column, 2 plus 2 makes 4, which we know is really 400. So your answer is 480. So now I'm going to change the question slightly so that there's more carrying required. So I'm going to put a 6 in here instead of a 3. And then in our vertical addition question, I'll put in the 6. Okay, so let's go again. Starting always, as we know, with our units. 1 and 9, again, makes 10. So we know we put down our 0. The 10 goes over here to the tens column. How many tens do we have all together now? 6. Add 4, add 1. of course, makes 11. Down the 1, carry the 1, like that. How many hundreds altogether? 2 plus 2 plus 1 makes 5. We know that's really 500. So your answer there is 510. So make sure, boys and girls, that you lay out your question like this, okay? Not like this. Some of you are still, when I give you out questions like these, you are still writing them out horizontally, okay? You need to do it like this. It will be much more helpful to you because you have all your units together, all your tens, all your hundreds, and it just makes adding much easier for you, okay? And boys and girls, continue on with your sum dog if you can. Although I really don't think I need to remind you of that because last week the best users of SumDog was the P4 children. So well done to all of you. Also continue on with your reading in Oxford Owl. And if you get a chance, I know that's a very busy Monday you have, but if you get a chance during the week, if you could try to do some reading for accelerated reading as well. And I'm going to send you another little video on that just to explain it to you, how to log on and how to find books and so forth. Okay, so talk to you soon. Bye bye.